Hi Sagittarius, so welcome to your weekly tarot reading. So give me a minute just to relax a little bit, try and tune into your energy. So I'm going to pull one card for you, then I'm going to shuffle the rest of the cards. So give me one card for Sagittarius. Oh, you got the mending card. I really like the mending card. It's about, obviously, it's about healing rifts between you and someone else. Doesn't even have to be about you and someone else. It can be about you and your sense of personal value, which is everything. Once we get the personal value thing going, our life changes beyond anything. So it could be mending with another person, or it could be mending your own sense of worth, your own heart, your own self-esteem. And when we do that anyhow, things automatically change around us, or the people just move out of our lives, okay? So give me 6 cards for the sign of Sagittarius. There'll be links below to your August reading. Your reading in August was very, very interesting. So let's look at the weekly cards for you. I've got the star card behind you, which is a bit grace. This is a bit mending, yeah. 5 of Cups as the gift. So because it's the gift, it means things are on the move, okay? The challenge is a Tower card, which is about change. Temperance is in your relationships. Page of Swords underneath the 5 of Cups as the gift here. So this is maybe some sort of communication that's happening. And then you get the Sun as the outcome, which is beautiful because the Sun comes after the Moon, obviously. So this is about the light that comes and illuminates things. So it brings things out of the closet. Any unfinished business, any unspoken energy. It sort of clarifies and brings things to light. So what is this 5 of Cups and the Page of Swords about? This is a central pillar. The Page of Swords brings news, okay? The aces are all gifts. When we get to the Page of Swords, he's got the ace in his hand and he starts to act in a way that brings truth to a situation. So it could be about some sort of communication, some sort of reaching out, or someone else reaching out to you. Tell me about this 5 of Cups and the Page of Swords, please. One card to clarify them. Right, okay, the High Priestess, which isn't very helpful because the High Priestess is still the keeper of secrets, which means maybe some honesty is coming through here, Sagittarius. Because the High Priestess was a clarifier above these cards. When the High Priestess shows up, it quite often speaks of a very powerful energetic connection with someone, but no truth has been spoken. I think most people know that sort of energy. But I wonder but the Sun and the Mending card would speak about some sort of, tell me more about this central pillar, please. It's to do with a relationship, a person, look. And it's almost like some veil has been covering it. Some sort of, and I think there's going to be, because the Tower card can be truth serum, okay? It breaks through the Devil card. So the Devil card in astrology is Saturn. Saturn can be a restrictive and quite oppressive energy. The Tower card breaks through that and it knocks things down, but there's still a lot of unspoken energy because the High Priestess is there, and the High Priestess does not reveal herself. Things start to be revealed when we go into the Empress, because that's tactile, loving behaviour. God, why is a Tower? It's funny, you my last reading, and I'm like, I'm doing a 360-degree spin when I look at your cards. Tell me more. Yeah, Tower with the Ace of Swords. This is a bit straightforward communication here. Now, the page carries the AC, so it begins to take shape, it begins to take a form in the 3D world, but there's still an awful lot of unspoken energy with that High Priestess. I don't always love the High Priestess in relationship. I love the High Priestess in relationship when two people are being straightforward with each other, because it speaks of this real powerful connection. You know, when you can still feel someone when they're not in your presence. But I can't help feeling, because being in the truth, Satnam, is the challenge, which means they're still holding back energy. Tell me why the Five of Cups is the gift then, because you don't seem, it's almost that you know something. The High Priestess knows, by the way. What's the Five of Cups about as the gift, please? Boy, boy, boy. One card to tell me what the Five of Cups is about. Yeah. High Priestess, keeper of secrets, things not being revealed, feelings being held very closely to your chest. And that's where the Tower and the Ace of Swords are the challenge, because they are both the truth. I'm not saying people are being deceptive here, by the way, in any shape or form, because we don't know till we know. That's the end of it. We don't know till we know. We don't. Sometimes we all have part of the work that I do a lot of work around the 6 sacred wounds, okay? And I do it one-to-one work on Skype. One of the first sacred wounds is the wound of denial. It's a right, so a 1/6 of the population's sacred wound is the wound of denial, which means they don't even know they're denying things themselves. It's called the invisible wound because they can't see what everyone else can see. And I think, Sagittarius, there's some sort of energy about that going on for you, because being in the truth is a challenge, and very much being a Sagittarius, that's obviously what you stand for. Yeah. Ooh. I'm just laughing. I'm not laughing at you, Sagittarius. Sometimes you get, I've had about 3 of these and I'm like, oh my God. Anyhow, other people are showing up for you as Temperance. Temperance comes after the Death card, okay? So Temperance can be quite a vulnerable card. It's a very beautiful card. Something very open about it, because look, floating in water, but they're not spilling any of that grail. There's nothing been given away in this situation, Sagittarius. And it's definitely to do with some sort of relationship dynamic. And the outcome is the Sun, which is extremely hopeful, because the Sun illuminates everything. Now, sometimes that 4 of Pentacles is, you know, it's a beautiful summer's day and you've got a winter coat on. That's what the 4 of Pentacles is. But when the Sun comes in, some of these defences begin to melt down, okay? So that's why sometimes approaching people to be in the truth doesn't work, especially if they've got the sacred wound of being in denial, which is a 6 of the population, guys, okay? What's the sun? What clarity is coming here for Sagittarius, please? What is the sun going to shine its light on? One card. Strength. You've got the Leo card. It's also about the heart. Following your heart is not a cliche, by the way. Following your heart represents the 5th house in our birth chart. It's about our true colour, the colour of our sun, the colour of our heart, being very powerful, being in your warmth, being in your power here. So there's, for some of you, there's truth around the Leo happening, but for others of you, this is truth and you're being connected with your own heart, because she's looking right at the 5 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles. So maybe you're getting to the point, Sagittarius, where you're beginning to be more in the truth, or you're getting to the point of you'll not live a life in denial anymore. And when we get to that point, people either change and meet us as we are, or they move out of our life. But you're moving into that such powerful authenticity. And if you look at her direction, right at that 4 and that 5, which is about the denial of feelings with that High Priestess, something's not been talked about here. And you know what, Sagittarius? I've definitely been in one of these situations in my life. And see, sometimes if you're not the person, but it's someone else you're dealing with, sometimes you have to see, especially if they're sacred wounds, this wound of denial, you have to almost treat them like you're actually being with a child. This is definitely about communication in a relationship, but do I think the whole truth's been opened? No, not really. Do I think you're moving towards some sort of resolution? Absolutely, yeah. The mending card just came up again. One more card about the sun and the strength card. Very, very powerful cards, by the way. Both represent Leo. Both represent the heart. The heart, living in your heart. Well, yeah, you get the Bless card. Some of you are dealing with a very, very deep relationship dynamic here. You know what, Sagittarius? Take a deep breath. And actually, the links will be below to your August reading and how to contact me. Take a deep breath. Be as much. Remember, we never know beyond what glitters in a person. We never really know the sacred wound that person carries. Okay? So we can't judge. We can only, because you might just be dealing with, or you are, there's a little bit of denial going on here. For some, actually, Sagittarius, actually, this is about moving, relocation, making big changes, moving house. It's a tarot card when it comes as a challenge, is some sort of big change going on, okay? And because of this energy's essential issue, maybe most people don't cope with change very well. I'll tell you a little secret about me, Sagittarius. Every time I need to cope with a change, a big change, for 3 days before it, I just sit and don't say a word to anyone. And sometimes I actually sit in a corner and I don't move. We all have ways of coping with change. None of them are wrong. But if this is, some of you are coping with change, you might take a step backwards in order to go forwards. I've actually found myself sitting in cupboards when I've been packing homes up. Because really what I'm doing is gathering my energy for the change. I'm a little bit spun out now, Sagittarius. Beautiful reading. Something very spiritual. And when I say spiritual, it's beyond human understanding, basically, is going on here. Okay, love you lot. Speak to you next week. Bye.